Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch. And not only did we get the man Nick to turn his camera on, hello, Nick,
Hello.
but we also have the one, the only, Jessa Flux. My God, Jessa, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted by your cleavage. I was trying to look at you in the eyes, but I'm going to be honest here. If anybody wants to see the video version of this podcast, remember we're on YouTube, Rumble. If you just want to hear the audio, Nick, where do we have the audio all listed at?
The audio is on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Google Podcasts. It's on all the platforms, all of them.
Wonderful. Jessa, I'm actually thrilled. I was really surprised that I shouldn't say surprised because we're wonderful. I'm just thrilled you were able to take the time to join our podcast because you are busy. Between your content creation, your conventions, your movie premieres, and your upcoming movies that you're in, you're a busy girl. You're a
I
busy
am,
girl right now.
yes. I don't mind it though. I enjoy it.
Oh, of course, of course. And you said that you had one coming out, A Shark Exorcist 2, Unholy Waters, was just released in Japan. I
Yes,
mean,
that's pretty phenomenal to me because I always wanted to be big in Japan, you know what I mean? And
mhm.
happening, and it's so unexpected because I had no idea that Japan was so hype on shark like horror movies. And so I guess the first Shark Exorcist really went over well there. And then we filmed this a couple years ago. It's been a while now, and I've been waiting for it to come out because my character's so funny. Like I love whenever I have the opportunity to be really goofy in a movie. Like I like being
Mhm.
serious too, of course, but I always consider myself the funny girl. So it's nice to be able to show that side of myself. And yeah, so I can't wait to personally see it, but I haven't even seen it yet. But the people in Japan have seen it, and I love that.
Now, did you film it here in the States or did you travel to film it? Did you film it outside of the US?
No, I filmed it close to it was in Tennessee, it was close to Nashville. So, but like I said, it's been a
Okay.
while since we filmed it. It's one of those things like, you know, in independent cinema where you film something and you have no idea if it's coming out, like if it's ever, you know, like when it's
Yep.
coming out. I'm always so
Yeah.
shocked people have a turnaround time of like a year because that's not what I was used to in the beginning. And this goes to show like it can take a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get into more about you and what you have upcoming, but it's my podcast. And I always start off with some questions. Nick, are you ready for our questions?
I'm always ready for them. So I think Jess needs to be.
Ah, she's ready.
I'm
She's
ready.
okay. So all we do with the questions, really, they just kind of prompt us to have a discussion. You can give as much detail as you want, as little detail. We just make it fun. Um, so here's a question. Would you rather give a rim job or receive a rim job? Well, I'll go first. I had a whole podcast about anal and licking ass and all of that. That is just not my thing. So if I had to pick one, I'd be the receiver, so I wouldn't have to have my face down there. I'm just not an ass person, to be honest.
I get that. I feel a similar way about it. I did a lot of anal exploring in high school. Am I allowed to say that?
You are,
Oh
you
yeah,
are. Don't
you
worry,
say
you are.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's really when that was like a thing for me, just because I was testing what my interests were. And I found out that it just doesn't feel like anything to me. Like whenever people do that to me, it's like
Mm,
I
no.
mostly just like placating them. I'm just like, go ahead and lick my asshole if
Yeah.
that's what gets off. But like personally, it feels like nothing. It's just like a snail slithering around down there. Like it's not good at all, you know? So
Thank
I don't
you.
want to do it. Like because if it's
Yeah.
make somebody feel good, I'd rather give them that pleasure than them give me something that's doing nothing for me.
I know, absolutely. I just, yeah, I dated this guy and that's all he'd want to do is bury his face in my ass. And it just, okay, come on. You know, can you just yet? Nick, what about you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, um, I'm not an ass person. I hate that area. I would rather receive than give for sure. Yeah.
Also, may
Okay.
I I'm like tolerant, so there's a lot going on back there a lot of times. I
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't think we should just I mean, I remember the last time a guy was just going ham and man, I'm glad he was drunk because I was having some issues and I know that he had to have noticed it, but he didn't give a shit like at all. Like he was just
Oh,
literally
Yeah, when we're
oh
drunk,
God.
little matters. Little matters.
for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Questions to loosen us up and because I find out more about Nick that way. By the way, Nick is single and looking
Oh
for
my
his
God.
Indian princess. Nick, we're going to broaden our horizons here. You've
Oh
tried the
man.
dating apps, you've tried
Jesus, let's not.
blind dates.
Oh
So
man.
Nick is looking for a traditional Indian, American woman. If you know of anybody, hit us up. No.
I'm sorry, did you say
Hey,
an Indian American woman specifically?
so
Yeah.
somebody born here would probably, because he was born here. He
Yeah,
Okay.
was
yeah,
born
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So he has a lot of the traditional American, like I said, he's as American as you and I. He
Oh
was
yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah,
born
yeah.
in Tennessee, right, Nick?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
yep, yeah,
you're
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
I've never, yeah, I've, yeah. I'm born in the U.S.
But
Don't have a green card, so yeah.
culturally, it is time for him to find a
Oh,
spouse.
jeez.
And he would also like a spouse. Let's be honest. You would like a spouse, but you would like an Indian spouse. But you know, so
Oh
I'm just
man.
throwing it out there. Jessa
Thanks,
has
thanks.
fans that are going to be listening to this. We never know.
Oh God.
We might find you somebody.
We're gonna get a lot of strange emails. By the way, if anybody wants to send their resume or any questions to us, or ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com.
So do you in the
All
dating
right.
that you're looking for an Indian wife?
Yeah, actually, I've been on a South Asian or Indian dating app for like I think about 6 months now.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Mhm.
I thought I met somebody, and it was in a previous podcast where I was talking to this girl for about a month, and she was in Boston studying I think data analytics or something like that, and she had like 2 other degrees. Go figure. And we started talking, and it got very heavy, and was very like she was really into it, and I was really into it. Erica's read the text messages, and
Mhm.
she wanted to meet, and I met her in Boston, I think during St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we were all like I was excited about it, and she was excited about it, and then like she got an Airbnb. I went up there, flew up there, got a rental car to the whole thing, research areas to eat and where to go and stuff like that, and make sure I knew what was happening. And I thought it went well, and then I get a text message that Monday morning saying, it's not working out. We just need to cut this off. I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, it
Actually
I
was.
know.
adjusted on your camera and now I'm realizing you are Indian.
Yeah, because the
Well,
sun,
yeah, he doesn't
the
want
sun,
just an
the
Indian.
sun behind me has gone down or behind a cloud because this camera is going in and out, and I have a light on it that's like I'm trying to get it as like high as I can so you can actually see me.
This
So
makes
yeah.
But Jessa, honestly, I thought he was just tan. When I first met him, I wouldn't have thought he was Indian.
oh, I have and back in the day, his name was Bruce Wynn, and I thought he was Mexican for a whole year. Okay, and he obviously not. He is I think Vietnamese. I didn't know that until I started dating him and met his parents.
Oh. Ah,
Oh man.
Dumbass.
no. I mean, you're not the only one, because yeah,
Oh no, I've been mistaken for Mexican and Samoan as well. It just happens. I mean, I make sure I'm Mexican at the airport when going through TSA. That's usually what happens. So
well,
yeah.
it doesn't help, Nick, that you're a big dude. And
No, it
I
doesn't.
think of Indian guys as like they're pretty tiny. They're small.
Yeah. Because they're
And you're
malnourished. That's
not.
why.
Oh my God.
It's true though. If you look at if you see any Indians or any Indian men from India, they're always like 5'8" or 5'5". They're always
Is
small.
getting enough, you said nutrients? Like what? Like in their years?
Basically, yeah, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. Because it's funny because all my friends who grew up in a small town, like they're all Indian as well. Like we all grew up and we're all around 6 feet tall, if not taller.
Because you got that American diet.
Yeah.
You have all of our
Basically,
beef and our
and we've all been over to see our cousins in India every during our childhoods and things like that, and they're all like all of our cousins are like small, like all below 6 feet, all below 6 feet. Yeah, it's weird, but that's what I blame it. That's what I blame it on. I blame it on malnutrition and other things as well. So yeah.
Oh God, you're hilarious. But yes, Jessa, that's if you know anybody, he's marriageable age.
We love that.
Oh God.
I know. So I did want to call out your website. I know that you have all of your links on Jessa Does It All. So if anybody wants to know more about Jessa Flux, wants to see upcoming movies, wants to buy some goodies on your wish list, which I was checking out personally.
I do that too.
You have links on there. Yeah.
All the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at this and you must have because I had asked you earlier, what's the best way if somebody wants to follow you just to, because you post great stuff. I follow you myself. I follow you on Twitter, which is called X now. I follow you on TikTok, Facebook. I follow your page. I'm not stalking you or anything, but you are a beautiful woman. I've never been with a woman, but if I was, But I had asked you, what is the one that you would probably update the most and the best one? And you had said Instagram. So if anybody wants to follow Jessa, just check out all my links. Jessa Does It All, and you can find all that information out about her.
Also, I update my OnlyFans 3 times a day. With
that was one of my questions.
Yes, I've noticed.
Yeah, he's a subscriber, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how often you updated content, not just on your OnlyFans, but your other social media accounts, because you really work a lot. I mean, not just in the movies and that, but you have to keep that content constantly flowing to keep interest going, correct?
Oh yeah, it's a constant struggle, and I'm like, my friends make fun of me because I'll just be in the middle. We'll be in the middle of dinner together, and then they'll start talking to me, and I just don't hear them because I'm formulating a post, and they're just like, "Are you listening?" Like, Jess, and I'm just like, I'm doing something, and so they're always like, "Oh, she's doing something."
So you don't have okay, so you don't have a social media manager, you just do it all yourself.
I literally do it all myself. I am such a control freak that people have suggested that to me to just take control of it. First of all, I'm cheap, so I'm not paying nobody. And second of all, People have recommended that for OnlyFans because I have the thing that I have trouble with the most on OnlyFans, because I'm very good and consistent with my updates. Which, you know, I feel like if someone's subscribing to me, I want to give them a quality product. So like, it's important to me to update, but I do have trouble answering my messages because I'm like, when am I going to do that? Like, I don't have time. So I just try to do my best, you know, and I just try to let people know I'm struggling. But yeah, I do everything on my own. I do a lot of research though on like what is like doing well for certain social platforms, like, and I don't completely abide by those things that I learned, but I'm very interested in it. Like, I just think it's an interesting thing, like how these trends like develop, and you know, right now reels are really important, but I just like a whole thing, right? Like that's like editing a little video all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah, no,
yeah, and that's why we wondered if you had somebody that helped you with that.
Yeah, no, I help some friends. I do a podcast with some friends of mine. I've been doing it for about 10 years, and I'm the social media guy for their stuff. So if one of my friends does a short, he sends it to me and I post it to our Reels, our TikTok, and our Twitter immediately. Also, there's another app you can use, or there are other apps you can use for social media stuff like Social Pilot that'll let you do, I think it's also on mobile, where you can put in one post and check mark like Twitter, Instagram, and X, and it'll post it all there, either on a scheduled post or all at once.
I used to have something like that called Hootsuite. I don't know if it's still.
Yeah. That's one of the big expensive ones.
Well, it used to not be so expensive, and I was like grandfathered in because I subscribed to it a long time ago. So I was only paying like less than $15 a month. And I didn't have money in my account once, and they tried to get the money and it canceled my account. And so when I tried to resubscribe to it, it was like $50 a month. I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
They're one of the.
I don't think people like that. I don't think people like if you're making a post and you're making it the same place, like if you're like cross posting it, I think people get kind of turned off by that. They want something different in each place so that it gives each place value to follow. Otherwise, they can just follow you on, you know, Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. You're right.
Is that what you've seen?
Absolutely. Yeah. And for a long time, I was just doing basically posting anything I posted on Facebook. I had it linked with my Twitter account or X, whatever. And I had a couple people approach me about it a couple years ago, and they were like, you know, whenever I see accounts like that, I usually unfollow them because it's just silly. And I was like, you're crazy. I didn't believe them. So I started trying to make unique posts on Twitter, and I've gotten so much better engagement like since I started doing that. Also, I started posting like a little spicier photos, you know, because like there's stuff that you can't get away with. I don't post any nudes for free personally, generally. Sometimes I do because I'm feeling like a little randy, you know what I mean? You know, generally I'm like, you got to pay for that. But there's certain things like I don't like anytime I post myself in a thong on Instagram, it's immediately flagged. I don't know how these porn stars do it. I want to ask them because like other people post pictures of themselves like in thong bikinis and stuff because it's not like you're showing anything really.
Yeah,
it's flagged, but I do. Like, what is the deal?
I think certain accounts they just do that for. I used to follow, which I still do follow, but she actually doesn't post on Instagram anymore. She is a sex therapist. She actually carries stuff with her vagina is what she does. Kim Anami. And she does all of these sex therapies and teaches women how to carry items with her vagina.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a whole podcast about it. But so if you look her up, Kim Anami, she takes a jade egg. It has a hole in it. She'll tie a string to it. She puts the jade egg inside of her, and she can carry like jugs of water tied to the string, chandeliers. She'll have pictures of her carrying like a watermelon. She literally, it's like lifting weights with your vagina, and the tightness of her vagina is what's holding that jade egg in. And then she can lift things up with her vagina. Instagram kept taking her post down and blocking her, and she stopped posting on there. So I think certain people, or it could just be just people were complaining. And I post shit on my Facebook all the time that I think, oh, somebody's gonna report me for that shit. And they don't. And I'm actually surprised. So I think that's part of it. You just, because you are popular and beautiful and young, that there's people that feel your competition. So you could just have people complaining, which sucks.
That's also a thing too.
Haters.
Yeah. And also Instagram is
Fuck.
Yeah. Instagram's not the best for things like that. X or Twitter is. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Oh, X don't give a shit no more. I'm telling you, we're gonna get Elon Musk. I even tried to dangle Jessa in front of him. I keep trying to get Elon Musk on the podcast. I'm like, Elon, I don't lie, man. If we're gonna get Jamie Kennedy or Elon Musk, we'll get somebody.
He is so hot to me. Like, I've been in love with Elon Musk because he's crazy.
He really is.
I like a toxic man. A toxic person. Okay. I don't care if they're them, they, she, or whatever. I like a toxic person, a person that carries some toxicity with them. And he's definitely got that, as well as he's smoking weed all the time. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
some of his best posts are the ones that are like at 2 or 3 a.m. where he's been up like all day and night long, and he's just rambling.
And also, he must get the best weed.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Like, it's probably like if I smoked, I hit that one time and just fall over flat on my face. Like, I don't know.
Oh God.
Smoking because like it easily can knock me on my ass where, well, honestly, I don't even smoke weed unless I have a Klonopin nearby. And that's the truth of it, because it really kind of like, it just makes my anxiety so much worse. And I only do the indica.
Okay.
But even with that being all indica, Indicouch, that's the one that lays you out. It still can sometimes be too much. And I have to take a little halfie of a K-pen, to like knock me back down, like on the level where I'm not like super paranoid about stuff. And also that runs in my family, to be honest.
Okay. Do you ever drink and smoke?
Yes. I love to drink and smoke.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know, because I barely do that, because if I do it too much, I'm gone. It's a bad experience. Erica has yet to partake in the marijuana, and I'm going to get her introduced when we go to Scarefest. I'm
a drinker.
I have little 5 milligram gummies I'm going to give her at Scarefest. We're going to see how she reacts. So.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Oh, don't be sorry about your dog. That's one of the things we were going to ask about, is who takes care of your dog when you travel?
It is my mom. Usually that's why I'm at her house right now. I'm sitting for her because she went to Miami, which I think is crazy.
Oh,
but like, she
it's
never
be hot right now.
Yeah, there's a kid walking with trash, I noticed outside of this window, and he's just really going off on him. So, but yeah, no, my mom cares for my dog, or my ex-boyfriend Matt. It depends on which direction going to. That depends on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got any more cards, Erica?
Yeah,
I do. Name 3 body parts. Oh, that's stupid. Name 3 body parts you find attractive. Okay, so if we're getting technical, I am a teeth person. I like good teeth. Yeah, this show my age. I'm old as fuck. Yeah, I like teeth. Um, and probably, but God, I can't even pick three. No wonder why I don't date. Um, and eyes. There we go. I'm boring. I'm really boring. Like he said, I don't even, I've never even had a gummy.
May I why you say the teeth thing is like a older thing? Like how's that?
No, it because you would think that well, when I was younger, it was like, oh, I want to have a good ass or nice abs or a nice chest, muscles. And now I'm like, well, and probably because I've paid for, is it two different guys to get their teeth fit and then they broke up with me. So that's probably the thing. I want them to already have good teeth when we start dating. I don't want to have to pay for anybody else's teeth. So,
You're a saint.
so yeah, that's well, you don't know anything, but yeah, I dated a few guys that needed some very very extensive dental work, and I did pay for it, and then yeah, they broke up with me. So now I look for their teeth.
That's fair.
What about you guys? What do you look at?
I would say shoulders. I like a shoulder. I'm very boring. Here's this kid again walking on. There he goes. All right. Sorry. Okay, so I like shoulders because I'm very boring and I like missionary sex. So I like to touch those shoulders when I'm like back, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, ooh, it's like a little nice strength to the shoulder. I love noses. I love big noses specifically. And what else do I like? I don't know. Let's pass it to Nick, and I'll think of my
Oh
third one.
God. Oh my, I'm easy. Tits, ass, and mouth. That's it.
Oh Jesus.
Mouth.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That's
Yeah.
true. That's a man.
Yep. That's it. Because that's about all. I mean, like at first glance, that's all that really matters, and then like we'll go from there. We'll go from there. So
That's fair. I don't know. Does a face count as a body part? Because I love faces.
Yeah. Yeah. Just just the looks.
Yes. But I do love a big nose. I don't know
I
what
would
it is.
say yes.
I just love a big nose.
You know what I think is funny? You slipped in there, you like missionary. See, I'm not the only one, Nick. Because Nick and I have gotten to know each other very well.
I'm sure.
through the
On these
podcast,
podcasts.
be specific. Be specific.
I knew what you meant.
I'm just saying for people who listen.
You know, on our podcast, Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch. But we've talked about the different likes, dislikes, things like that. And I'm a missionary person too. I mean, shit, I'm 50 and been fucking since I was 15. So I've had my share. But yeah, missionary. I don't know what it is. It's love. It's a connection where I don't know. I'm boring.
I like it. But I told a friend of mine, one of my good friends, about that missionary is like my favorite position. And he said he's never had sex missionary. I'm like, what do you mean? I think isn't that where you start?
Yeah. I would have thought so.
Yeah, I mean it is where you start, but like with I don't know, over the years I just that hasn't happened. Yeah.
Never had. Maybe he doesn't understand what missionary is.
No. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he's thinking it's like the Amish where they're wearing the gowns and pull the dress up a little bit. I don't.
Missionaries with their legs behind your head, right? That's what it is, right? Is that what it is?
Is it the Mormon people that have special pennies that they wear?
Yes, it is. It is the Mormons.
Okay, because you just reminded me of this. There's a porn site that caters to Mormon porn that I found out about. I haven't checked it. I'm interested in pennies are.
Yeah. We'll have to find it. We'll have to look that up, Nick, and talk about it.
Oh no, there are specialty sites and everything. Like there's even a lot. I've seen a lot coming up now that are just that are actually made for women, that are just like long stories and more elaborate plots. It's almost like Time Life movies, but with porn. So I've been seeing that. I've been seeing those a lot too, like that are coming up, which is good. I mean, everybody needs their fix. It's all good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another question. We'll keep it going. Have you ever peed the bed?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do it intentionally, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
You know,
I think
I many times.
yeah, no, I've been drunk before. Yeah, that happens.
Yes. I don't think I peed the bed on purpose. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
You're just too
I've
lazy.
never done it on purpose.
You're just too lazy to get up, and you're just like, oh, forget it. I'll clean it up later.
No, man, you like get in that deep sleep, and I've had like dreams where I could feel the toilet seat under my ass, and I'd start peeing, and I wasn't in the bathroom. I was in bed.
I'm gonna close the door because these kids are really just walking back and forth out here.
Okay.
No problem. No problem.
You get out of here. Come on.
Having problems with their dog.
Love it.
This house is full of
We're
animals.
finding so much out.
How many
Animals?
Yeah, how many animals are in the house?
That's 3, but that's 3 too many. Like, it's my mom's dog who just popped up. Oh, you can't see it because I have the fuzzy background. But her dog Penelope just jumped up on the bed behind me. And she has a cat that hates me. I was doing an audition last night, which was an absolute disaster, by the way. One of the reasons why is because I kept taking takes, and my mom's cat kept like attacking my foot from underneath the bed where I had like my place set up, where I took everything off the wall over there because it's the only place in the house that has like kind of nothing on the wall. So like I took down a cloth picture, and the cat just hates me. Like she always says, oh, my cat, the cat loves everybody but you. And I'm like, okay, well, it's, needs to be on Prozac or something because it attacks me all the time.
Can I ask what you were auditioning for?
It was something random that I found on Facebook, but I think that because I randomly follow different casting directors, like how like it'll be like like suggest like follow this person. Well, it was one of those, and it was something that was for a web series, and it was filming in New Orleans, and they were offering my old rate for films, which so it was like it was pretty good, like I was like, okay, cool. And it was inside of my like group, like whenever you get into indie horror, like it's you may not work for always the same people, but they know this person, and there's always a connection that you can find and kind of get like the take on, okay, is this person legit? Are they going to put out the film? Are they good to work for? Are they going to try to see, like, try to bang you on set? You know what I mean? You can kind of get information. But this is like outside of my spectrum. And so I was really excited about it, but I don't have a reader here. I'm at my mom. Oh God. So now this dog. Wow. Okay. All right. Do you want to, what is going on? And then there's paranormal going on at my mom's house last night too. It was just a bad night. It was a bad night. But yeah. So anyway, so I was auditioning for this role, and I had bothered the casting director all week. I was like, okay, so I see the callbacks are at this time. I'm going to be on set doing something else. Can I make arrangements for my callback at another time? And I guess I probably sounded really confident, you know what I mean? Like, and they were just like, well, first we need like an audition. And so I could tell they were getting annoyed with me. So, but I was just like very just dead set on me getting a part in this. And so then I don't here. And so I have this app called Audition Pro that I've used before in a pinch, and it worked great. It's like basically you read the lines that the other person is saying in the dialogue, and it reads it to you as it's also recording on your phone the audition.
Oh,
Well, it didn't. The sound
okay.
sucked last night, so I didn't know that until I had taken all my takes, and it basically like whenever I was reading in in the app the recording of me saying the other lines, it was so loud. Like as soon as it came on, there was like it was like static, like like, and it was so loud.
Oh,
And then my responses were like quieted for some reason. So you just couldn't hear it. But like I'm such a proud person that I turned it in anyways. Because I figure I bothered the hell out of them. And I explained the situation. I was like, app just malfunctioned. I was like, don't blow out your eardrums listening to this. I just still wanted to submit. And they were just like, okay, thanks, Jess. Like, they obviously are not casting me. They probably think I'm crazy, like a crazy person that was just like bothering the hell out of them, like thinking that I was totally going to get a part in this. And then I send them like a janky video where it's like, you can't even hear me do my acting. Like, it's so bad. But yeah, I just felt like an asshole like all night for that. And then there was like my mom's dog all of a sudden started like she trapped herself in the bathroom somehow, and I hear like a scratching, and like I finally lay down at 4 a.m. and I hear scratch, scratch, scratch. So I'm like, oh my God, what is that? So I get up, and somehow she has like got into the bathroom and closed the door. I don't even know how that's possible. And so I let her out, and then she tries to get into the closet, like, and starts scratching at the closet while I'm laying down. And I'm in the dark, and I'm like, this is a joke, right? Like, we're scratching again. Like, what is going on? So I take a picture with flash to see what's going on. And the dog's just standing in the corner, staring at the wall.
Okay.
Like, absolutely not.
and they say animals can sense things. Mhm.
Right. Right. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, what in the hell's
Yep.
in the closet? So I try to call my mom at 4 a.m. Like, I'm like, why is the dog trying to get in the closet? I start taking videos. I'm like, this is weird. So I open the closet, and the dog goes in there and is facing the inside of the closet now behind her clothes. I'm like, this is freaking weird as fuck. Like, I mean, what? Yeah, it just scared the hell out of me. And the dog was obviously having some sort of a panic attack or something. And, I wanted it to calm the fuck down so I could go to sleep. I worked on this audition all night that sucked, because of the sound. And I just wanted to go to bed and do my little meditation that I do before bed. And I couldn't, it was awful. But finally the dog did go to sleep in the closet. So
That's so I mean you so you do
Wow,
have
still.
so you do have evidence now. You do have like pictures and video of it going down, so you can maybe I'm sure some people out there have experience with paranormal investigations and things like that. To go send it to them and see if if they hear or see anything.
I don't know that I believe in all that, but in the middle of the night, the lights are off, I do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, definitely a poltergeist in the closet, and the dog is like becoming one with it or something. I don't know what's happening.
It's all the scary movies you're in, all the horror films.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
a lot of that kind of horror, like supernatural horror. The movie that I'm doing this weekend is called The Whispers in the Woods. I guess what it's called. I'm so bad at like remembering what my movies are called. But anyhow, The Whispers in the Woods. I finally am getting to play a possessed person, and I'm so excited about it because I contort my body real weird. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Nice.
Also, the character that I'm playing, she is schizophrenic, so they don't realize that she's possessed because she's just exhibiting signs of schizophrenia, basically hearing things that aren't there, seeing things that aren't there, like stuff like that. So it's kind of an interesting angle, and I really like it.
Nice. Now, and just a kind of a comment about that. If anybody's interested in getting a DVD for The Whisper in the Woods, or to look up any of the indie films that Jessa is part of that are trying to raise funds.
Yes.
The Whisper in the Woods is actually on Indiegogo.
Yes.
And if anybody ever wants to find, because I found this out, Rose, when I started doing like donating to crowdfunding and things like that on Indiegogo, you can actually type in an actor's name, and if they are attached to a movie, those movies will come up, and that's one of the first ones that come up for you right now. And it's your picture. So if you search for Jessa Flux on Indiegogo, you'll see Jessa Flux joins the Whisper in the Woods. You can get a DVD. You can help crowdfund that movie. And then it looks like you have Sorority Babes and some other ones that are still raising funds.
Yes. And I try to also put
Um,
this on my jessadoesitall.com. So you can find those, and you can basically
I saw
pre-order,
that.
help the directors and the creators out by prepaying for it so they can pay us. And we love that. Everybody wants to get paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but the more money that's raised, the better the movie can be. It's not just
Yeah.
paying the actors, it's, you know, finishing the movie and editing the movie and colorizing and all that. Nick knows
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, it's it's rough. It's very, very rough. Yeah. One of the first whenever I moved to Atlanta, one of the first movies I ever did, I had to shoot and edit and color correct and do sound design for the entire thing. It was not fun. It was not fun. Yeah. Ended up being an entire piece of shit, and I learned that the director and the producer were like horrible womanizers on the set.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was terrible. Luckily I never saw them again, but like a lot of the females who were on that movie who I was in contact with, and we were doing horror conventions and stuff, and they were showing up, they were telling me it afterwards, and I was like, that's fucking terrible. Like I had no idea. I would have left the movie if I knew that was the case. But I didn't hear about it until after the fact. So it was just, yeah. It was terrible.
Erica had
Well,
come on to you, like your director come on to you whenever you were filming and make you very uncomfortable?
I was just going to ask you if you had that happen. For me, no. I don't know. There is one guy right now, but I'm not gonna say because he's here. But
Ow!
but I will say it's not the main director, it's just somebody else that's on the set. He keeps wanting to marry me. He keeps pointing at his finger. But yeah, no, he said he's very creepy. He could help me with my career, is what I heard. But that's the very first time I've ever had anything like that happen. I've never, and even him, I take it mostly jokingly. And I don't know if it's my personality, if it's the fact that I'm in my 50s. I don't know. I've just never been approached where I felt that uncomfortable on a movie set at all. But it sounds like you might have.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you try really hard in these movies. Yeah, I mean, you're a good actress.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, no, it's one thing whenever it's like a co-star and they're gracious and kind of joke, and like you said, joking, you don't really know how to take it. Like I talked to somebody else about this recently, and we were just talking about how we let a lot of things slide, that if it were in any other situation, we probably would be more vocal about it to other people, to them, the people weird. But it's like, you don't want to be seen as a problem actress that is always calling wolf, but there's wolves to be called, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yep. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off because, you know, there's a lot of you young, beautiful women that are putting yourselves out there and going to these states away from where you live, and you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel uncomfortable on those movie sets.
Well, and it's always the people you don't expect, I feel like, because I do a lot of checking in, like, okay, if I see that one of my friends that, you know, is in the circle has worked with them before, I'll kind of
Mhm.
say, what was your experience, you know?
Yeah.
And take that with a grain of salt too, not to like say that what they're saying didn't happen, because it definitely probably did, and they have no reason to lie to me. It's just that situations are so different, and you don't know, like, you don't know that the unknowns, you know, of the
Yeah.
situation. So I've had people hit me up and tell me not to work with certain people because of they took advantage of them with a nude scene and stuff like that. And you know, I was like, okay, well, I appreciate you telling me. I'm not gonna not
Mhm.
go there and do the part, but you know, I will be on guard as far as
Yeah.
like making changing by myself, etc. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know,
Yeah.
that's very, thank you for telling me. And then I had a beautiful experience with them. So it's really like, you never know how somebody is going to be with you specifically. But you know, like I said, it's always the people that's like, oh my God, I've worked with you before, and now here I am working with you again.
Mhm.
And something very inappropriate. Like, or in one case, a director heard me walking around. I would my room in the Airbnb was above his, and he heard
Mhm.
me walking around in the middle of the night. I was just going to tinkle, and he said, "Oh, I hear you're up. Do you want to get your pussy ate?"
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah, and I was like,
fucker.
married? Like what? Like what in the hell? And he's like, I just thought we could be friends like that, and I'll never tell
Oh.
anyone was you know, unless actually I did tell somebody once, and they told me that they had a similar experience, and then the next time that the person was filming, they didn't have that person back that
Yeah.
rejected. So I don't want to be in a situation where I don't get work because of
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean? Like, it's because the work is what pays the bills, you know? So like
Yeah.
I don't want to like ever be an asshole outright. Like I'll joke with people back. Like I know how to approach things because like I'm a stripper sometimes, you know. So like
Mhm.
I know kind of how to uh make sure something doesn't escalate. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty good at
Yeah.
that. At the same time, it's just like, oh wow, I thought we were real friends, you know? Like, and then you that
Yeah.
you
Yep. Well, and I think that's where a lot of people they look at the fact like you have an OnlyFans account, you will do nude scenes, things like that, and they just think it's okay. And that's bullshit because I can tell you that my age, I was running around naked and heck, we were filming shit on like VHS tapes is what we filmed on. Um, I just didn't have social media like we do now.
yeah,
So, if you were on the set of a porno and they asked you that, it would still be wrong. You're
absolutely.
there for a job. And see,
Yeah,
shit like that pisses me off. I've never ran into it though. But like I said, I have one of those personalities. Like you're very strong in your personality, and you know when you can. Okay, you know we're not really joking now. Um, but I'm kind of a hard ass. Hell, I haven't even dated in over 10 years, so I'm gonna guess it's probably I'm probably pretty unapproachable.
I
No, no,
That's what I'm gonna guess.
no, Erica, we know what your problem is. We talked about this last episode. We figured it out. But no, I've when I was doing a short film with some friends of mine, we were all we were at my friend's house as a dude, and it was a bunch of guys, you know, filming this scene. And the director, who's also a guy, was like, "Oh, I have this girl coming over, and she's gonna be in this thing." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever, that's fine," you know. And he was like, "Oh, I want her to do some, you know, some sex scene stuff, and just kind of film it in a way that we can do it." I'm like, "That's fine, that's cool, whatever she's comfortable with." And the girl comes in with no boyfriend, no friend. And
Mm,
it was one of those things where it's like we're just trying to get this thing shot and done and make sure we get it, you know, get it done and get good stuff so this way everybody's comfortable.
mhm.
And it shocked us.
mhm.
We're just like, "Where's your boyfriend? Where's your friend?" She's like, "Oh no, he knows I'm here and he knows the address and everything." I'm like, "Okay. Does he know what we're doing?" She's like, "Yeah, yeah." It's like, "Okay." And you know, the scene came up and we ran everything by her. We're just like, here's what we want. Here's the shots we're going to shoot to make sure it looks this way. are you cool with all of this? And she's like, that's fine. I'm like, all right, let's shoot it. And then she went on her merry way. I mean, she helped us with a couple other projects, but we always make sure that like we're clear. And then like, you know, if you need a friend to come by or whatever like that, you have one, because we're just trying to, you know, be creative and make art and have a good time doing it. We don't want to make anybody ever uncomfortable or like be in a situation, because that's not who we are. We just want to make cool shit and have a good time. That's really what we're doing, you know? So, but I feel bad that you ladies go through that. It's just
Yeah.
bullshit. And really it is, you know?
It's never been like during a sassy scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never been during that scene that I've been made to feel uncomfortable. It's usually way after the fact, or not even in that. It's not even that actor. It's somebody else who thinks that, you know, just because I show my tits in movies and on the internet, you know what I mean? Like that I'm easy or something. And I have nothing against anybody that wants to be free with their sexuality, obviously. So easy is great. Fucking be easy. You know what I mean? But like, I'm a kind of person, I kind of want like I want like an emotional attachment. So I don't do a lot of hookups. It doesn't really fulfill me. It's not for me, you know? I like to get in and and then I get more turned on. So it's like, I can't just hook up with anybody anyways. Like, it doesn't make me feel good. So it's like, to just expect that maybe that's how I live my life. You know, people have said things. They're like, oh, well, with your lifestyle. I'm like, what fucking lifestyle are you talking about?
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Like, what exactly are you even saying to me right now? But yeah, no, it's usually with sex scenes and stuff like that. Like, I ask the other person too, because I want to be sure that they're cool. I say, okay, what are we doing in what order? You know what I mean? Like, let's kind of map it out beforehand, so nobody's going and doing anything weird, and so we don't bump heads literally. You know what I mean? Like, so we're like going at the same time and like clock each other or something. I just like to kind of get it all out and get it choreographed in a way, you know what I mean, to just like know what to expect. And
you're making a movie. That is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
is you know, mapping it out. This is what's going to happen, so you know. Yeah, I would say one of my because I said you're a good actress, and I even reached out to you about this one and said, my God, you're hilarious. Murder Size. Your role in Murder Size, I was rolling, laughing. You were so funny, and you told me that you do comedy.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So do you do stand-up or?
Yeah.
Okay. How often do you do it? Yeah, I gotta ask.
I probably not as much as I'd like to, but it's because I don't have really the chance to do it. Like, I try to do open mics when I can. I've only done one official show where I've been on the show and was hired to perform. But other than that, I do open mics. Last year I took a class in Austin, Texas, and that was awesome for me because it was something that I wanted to do literally my whole life. Like, since I first saw stand up, I saw it, I think the first time I was 4 or 5, and I thought it was fucking amazing. I had no idea what they were saying, but I was watching everybody else in the room respond, and I was like, great. Yes, I want that. I want that power. I want to be able to make people laugh and to make people have a good time and to have that like release. So I had been wanting to do it my whole life, but I just, you know, I'd always go to these open mics and kind of observe, and I'm like, I'm funnier than people, you know, like I could totally go up there right now, feel it way harder than these people that I can tell prepared for like weeks to come here, you know? And so, but the class, it really made me do it. You know what I mean? Because it was like every Wednesday we had to come up with something. A lot of people, they worked on the same thing throughout the 8-week class. I like to come up with new material. So, and the teacher was actually like scolding me about it. She's like, okay, well, can we stick with something though? Like, I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
You're finding what works. Yeah.
Hang you. So let me do me. You know what I mean? Everybody's laughing. Are they not?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But yeah, so that kind of like, it made me do it because every single week we had to prepare. So we had to do 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the class. And so we were always up, and she even tricked us into doing stand up on the very first day, which was great, honestly, because we had to like answer all these questions about ourselves, just like normal, like get to know you questions. And I thought it seemed like she was asking this so she could kind of know who we were, what our backgrounds were, and why we were in the class and stuff like that. And then she's like, all right, well, you're going to perform that in front of everybody, and you got 10 minutes each, like, and that was awesome. Like, I was like, that, like, it made it possible, because like after you do it the first time, it's like, I think getting a tattoo, it's like easy now, you've gone through it, like, and I always feel elated afterwards. Like, I always feel like there's no high like fucking rocking a stage and making people laugh and then getting down, and like it's just like there's just endorphins and everything just running through your body. I love it. I'm addicted to it now. So like you can't stop me. I mean, if I go to do them in different towns, since I travel so much for acting, I'd like to get into doing that in different areas, because it one of the really like weird nuances of comedy is things don't play the same for different crowds. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I've noticed, like, and sometimes, I don't have any problem with, like, I'm super woke, I would say, you know what I mean? Like, I myself can woke or whatever, but in some crowds, when people, it's so like, they're so woke, they're afraid to laugh at certain things. Like, I make a lot of about myself, like, I'm biracial and I look white as hell. Like, I make a lot of jokes about that. And
shit.
Yeah, my mom is a black woman's vagina. You'd never guess. My hair's not naturally blonde. But I make
I
jokes
figured it was a light brown. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's a dark brown.
Okay.
And whenever you lighten your hair, it makes it less curly too. That's another weird thing. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so if you see pictures of me when I was a kid, my hair's a lot curlier and it's a lot darker. And I think that probably gives away a little bit of my ethnicity. But other than that, you really can't tell. But I make jokes about that. And people that they're not so concerned about being PC, they laugh harder at jokes.
Well, yeah.
And then the people that are really concerned about being PC, they're like looking around. I can tell they're looking around to see who's laughing, to see if they're allowed to.
Yeah.
So, and that goes for all kinds of different kinds of like content that you might be talking about. It's not just that, but I'd like to, figure that out a little bit better. That's something you can't teach in a class, because like the class is going to be the same people each time, So it's like, kind of know where you can go with that group of people. But like whenever it's like in real life and it's an open mic, it's a whole different ball game for sure. And I'm sure you do comedy, right? So
I do, which I had to ask you where you go and where you do it at, because like I said, you're so busy. But yeah, I just love that.
Yeah, I love it too. Like, I'm so glad that I finally took that jump and started actually doing it. Everything I've read says that, to really get good at stand up, you have to do it for like 10 years. So I wish I would have started before, like whenever I wish I would have started as soon as I could, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. And now, I've got to build up that reputation, and I've got to learn,
Yeah.
And the last times I've gone up and performed, I kind of, in my head, I bombed, you know what I mean? Like, there was laughter, but it wasn't what I was used to. And you get addicted to like really just getting those roaring laughs and getting them consistently. And I'm not very punchy with my comedy. I tell a lot of stories. So I got to learn how to make that more punchy. So it's like every experience that I have in doing stand up, I learn something completely new and different. And it's exciting. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you live in northern Indiana. It's northwest, right? Northwest Indiana, or are you down south?
I live in southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana. So
Yeah.
where would you go? Like if you were going to go do stand up this weekend, where would it be?
Well, there's a couple open mics in town. One's on, I think it's on Wednesday. Yeah, it's on Wednesday. And then there's one the first Thursday of every month. In Newburgh, Indiana. So I do those as often as I'm around to do them. And then I started, like I said, taking the class in Austin, Texas.
Mhm.
And so I was going around and catching open mics there. And it's like a booming situation there with like comedy. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of opportunities there. And but it's like at those places I find, because it is such a like thing to do in like Austin, Texas, we're doing comedy, it's like
Yeah.
there's every of the open mics, it's a lot of just seasoned people. Like it's just people working on their performances. And that's
Yeah.
also different reaction than you get from real people just going and experiencing an open mic, you
Yeah.
know? So whenever you get like laughter from those people, like that's real good. Like that feels
Oh,
so
yeah.
like other people that are trying to do the same thing. Like, yeah. So, and there's a whole situation there. Like we were talking about like discrimination against like women in acting and stuff.
Mhm.
I definitely tone down my appearance when I do comedy.
Okay.
Try to look, I would never wear this top. I would never have these titties showing. You know what I mean? Like I try to like kind of look more frumpy, for lack of a better word, because I feel
Yeah.
like my material is heard then. And instead,
True.
like whenever you're dressed sexy, it just doesn't seem like people aren't looking at that. They're not hearing what you're saying, they're looking at your tits. So
Yeah.
but I would love to get to the level where, I can feel confident in being my true self and wearing these tops and doing my but like I just feel like that's something I have to reach within myself, because I think that is also the confidence that you have and the kind of confidence you have, because there's all kinds of different confidences,
Mhm.
and like it shows when you're performing. And sometimes whenever you just don't, like I felt just not confident. Like that was
Yeah.
my last, I said I kind of bombed. It was because I just didn't feel confident that day. And I made myself do it anyway. So I let myself have a cookie. You know what I mean? I was like, I fucked
Mhm.
the thing, even though I didn't feel like it. And yeah, I only got like a couple laughs, but I did the thing. Like
Yep. You did it.
yes, exactly. So yeah, I'd love to get to the point where I can just, walk up in a thong and just, crack some jokes, but I'm not there yet. So instead I wear glasses and I don't do my hair. I wear a huge t-shirt,
Oh.
and that seems to do well, honestly. Like it seems to work for me.
Well, Nick likes glasses. He likes that librarian look. So
Calling me out. Calling me out.
you
Jeez.
may not look as frumpy as you think you do.
Oh God. Jeez.
Oh goodness.
What is it? I know. What is it? Erica's doing comedy, and she's done a couple of classes in LA a couple of
Mhm.
times, and we've talked about getting a show together for her and trying to do like a 1 hour thing. We're trying to do that too. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, do you know OnlyFans, they have comedy specials and things on there. Nick and I were talking about um putting it, putting it on there on OnlyFans. I don't know, we were spitballing, but yeah, we were talking about a comedy special with me.
Well, some people were saying that OnlyFans was promoting like sexy creators that do comedy on their socials. And so I checked it out, and some of these women are it's mostly women, which I love, because it's a male dominated thing. It seems
Mhm.
like I know that going in. I really didn't. Like I never even considered the fact that it's a male dominated thing. But these ladies are funny, and like
Yeah.
I would love to get to the point where I have something filmed super nice and they put it on their socials, and then I get like a boom in like followers for the fact that I'm funny, not just because like I got a sexy pic every once in a while.
No, but it sounds like you probably have a lot of material that you could because you've been doing these open mics, and like you said, even with your class, you tried to do different jokes, different things to get the laughs. I bet you would have enough if somebody filmed it that you could put those little snippets out there. That's what Nick and I has talked about with me, is then uploading those to the different social media accounts. You should
Yeah.
look into that. I bet you're funny as hell. I mean, like I said, seeing you in Murder Size and some of these other movies, I just laugh and laugh. And I'm like, damn, she really can act. And that comedic timing, which some people don't have.
Yeah.
I'd love to see your stand up. You should record it.
I will. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, dude. We'll share. Cause no, I really wish you would, because I think the world doesn't have enough comedy. That's one thing. And like you said, the woke thing now, Nick and I run into that a lot with the podcast. I was raised by a single father. So, a lot of the way I think and a lot of my mentality tends to be from the male side. And I also have 2 sons. And so I'm sorry, but if I see a pretty girl, I'm going to look at that pretty girl. You got cleavage. Great. I'm not going to be like, oh, you got to cover it up. And, it just, if I look at your breasts just because they're out, that makes me a bad person. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
That like at all. Like, I mean, I seriously, I don't know if I get away with it because I'm also a girl, but I will roll down a window while I'm driving down the street and ask somebody where their man's at. Like, I'm like, yeah. Oh, I'm like, you look good today. And they're like, like they seem to like it. They don't seem to feel through by it. Like, when you go to the gas station in the middle of the night and the men are trying to from like I don't know, the deepest crevices of the fucking earth. And they're just like, where's your man at? Like, that's kind of like, it's a different delivery for sure.
It is. You know what? And I would never, if a woman tells me I looked good, I would never be insulted, because I know they're going to be honest. Women tend to be more honest. Like, you look good, but let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But Nick, I got to bring this up real quick. And while Jessa's here, we'll get her opinion on this.
Yes.
So a few weeks ago, when I went to that, talked about this guy. I honestly haven't did.
Erica, you're breaking up a little bit.
I think am I back now? Okay.
Yep.
See, I touched my phone. Phone's the problem. Chatted with this guy like once or twice. No big deal. Well, since I was coming out to Texas, he had said, hey, he's driving from Florida. He's going to stop in Austin and then head back to LA. And he goes, I wouldn't mind seeing you. Now, I only met this guy once and texted him a couple times, spoke to him on the phone one time for like an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. So he wants to meet me. He's about 6 years older than me. Great guy. He, tell you his little background. He had a great job that few years ago, he seemed to want to become more of an artist and live his artist way. He lives for Burning Man every year, and he's converting an old ambulance into a rocket ship. And that is where all of his, hey, you know what? The guy wanted to meet me, so I'm willing to go, right? So he texted me and said, okay, when are you going to get to Houston? I will, make a detour and we'll meet up and we'll go to dinner, maybe a museum. This guy sent me this text and was like, well, it's going to be raining. It's going to be raining. And he goes, if I had it my way, we would go halvesies on a hotel room and just watch TV and relax there in case we wanted to get frisky. Did I tell you about this, Nick? I think I was saving it for the podcast.
You told me a little bit about it, but not in that much detail.
Hey, yeah. I can't even get a date where they'd pay full price for the goddamn hotel room. He wanted to go halvesies. I
No.
swear to God, that's what he wrote. Never even had lunch with this guy. Never even bought me a drink, but he wants to go halvesies on a hotel room.
I'll never go with a man. No.
Because it's raining. It's raining, and oh dear God, come on.
This is, oh my God.
Or you were gonna say he wanted you to wear like a white thin dress, so whenever you walk in the rain your nipples might show. I thought it was gonna be something exciting and hot, like not halvesies
What porn are you watching? Jesus.
Oh, I halvesies. He wasn't even going to pay full price. If he would have, and quite honestly, if he would have been like, well, let's meet for lunch. And then at lunch said, you know, I've been on the road. I've been sleeping in this old ambulance. I have a hotel room. Can we just hang out there for a minute while I shower or whatever? I probably would have went, but halvesies? My God, yeah, Nick, I had to tell you that when you were saying
the fact that he used the word halvesies, I think is like the ultimate red flag. It's like, no, we're not, no. You're not like 28. You can't use that word. Sorry. It's past your time. You can't do that. No.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
But that's the closest I've came to a date in a while. But yeah, Nick, I had to tell you that because when you said you had high hopes for this guy, and I'm like, yeah, well, I did too, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, I was saving that for the podcast.
Yeah.
He wanted to go halvesies.
Did you meet him?
No.
Not at all.
No, I told him I was busy.
Oh, I'm not going halvesies, but you can take me out to lunch, you know? Like,
I was just so shocked. I think that's what it was. I was just so shocked that he said go halvesies. I was just like, wow, no, that's all right. And then later on he did say, well, if you have a hotel room, I could come to you. And then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna have some guy in my hotel room, and here's the thing. I'm trying to, because if he contacts me, I got to try to think of how to handle this, because he could have just, in his very high level, I think he's on drugs all the time, to be honest, very high level, Burning Man state. I think he's a little free love and didn't think much of it. Where me, I'm like, halvesies. I'll never get over that. Halvesies. But yeah, so you wouldn't have went either. Yeah.
no, ma'am. If a man is going to be graced with my presence, honey, you're paying full price on everything. And we're going to a nice restaurant. And I'm probably not even going to kiss you of it, because you're going to you're going to earn my respect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's an old timey thing or what it is, like, but like, yeah, no, I'm not. I feel like I'm pretty entertaining. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
in Austin, and I was taking these classes. I was there for a couple months. I took some acting classes, I took stand up, and I did some improv classes, and it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal time. I decided to put myself on dating sites, and I just told the truth. I was like, I'm looking for a free dinner, I'm looking to get drunk, and I'm gonna practice my stand up on you. And let me tell you, I ate free most nights. So yeah, and they were decent people. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them, you know, past being in Austin. You know, there's people I went out with several times, but like, you know, I just, if they ever said, like, they were like, well, I don't know if I want to take you to the Ruth Chris. Bitch, you're taking me to the Ruth Chris. Or we're not going.
Oof, that's expensive. That's expensive.
Fine fuck, okay? Like, I'm fun. I got this ass, you know what I'm saying? And I'm funny. So we're going and you're paying. Like, otherwise,
Love it.
miss me.
Can we not go to the Cheesecake Factory beforehand? Can we not do that before?
Actually, the Cheesecake Factory is expensive.
It can be.
There was that whole thing online where, like, I think it happened, like, I think what, 6 months ago, where the guy was going to take the girl to the Cheesecake Factory, and she's like, no, we're not doing that. And he's like, well, we're not going then. It's fine. It's okay. You can leave. you know, and she was like, and, you know, it was like a first date, and apparently she wasn't on time and she was late, and he was waiting outside, and then, you know, they got to the restaurant and she's like, no, we're not doing this. And he's like, well, then it's over with. I'll just take you home.
Yeah.
So
She thought she was entitled to more than the Cheesecake Factory. And I like the Cheesecake Factory.
And I also like the Cheesecake Factory. So we can go to the Cheesecake Factory, honey. Like, I don't mind.
good. Good to know. All right, good
Yeah.
to know. I'm making notes. Don't use halvesies. Cheesecake Factory is fine. Okay, good.
And also, Red Lobster's just fine with me.
I'm trying to find the level here. I'm trying to find like the, you know, what's the appropriate like restaurant.
Oh God.
If the person picks the place, like, I like to pick the place the first time, right? Like, so I'll pick somewhere kind of nice where I know I can get a seafood tower. So Ruth Chris or another steakhouse. And then the next time I'll let them pick, but I kind of judge them on what they pick. Now, if you say, okay, so I've taken you out to this nice place that you picked, and now I want to take you to Applebee's, like, like, why are you taking me to Applebee's now? Like, I want it to be an interesting place. Like, it can be not expensive, but I want it to be cool, you know, like something cool about it that like I'm just like, wow, thank you for taking me here. I didn't know about this place. You know what I mean? It's a really cool, interesting place. But I don't want to meet there's a lot of people on the dating sites, and I got off of them pretty much after I came back home. I was like, I'm not interested in anybody at home. But you know, like that they were like, well, let's just go and get coffee first. Absolutely not, sir. No.
No coffee dates. No coffee dates.
No.
Actually, my sister ran into that. Coffee dates are a big thing right now. He wanted her to drive like 30 minutes to meet for coffee. And she said the same thing. She's like, I'm not going to waste my gas to go get a cup of coffee.
I drinking coffee in public. I got anxiety, honey. Like, we don't know what it's going to do to me that day.
Okay.
Kind of like the weed.
Well, I know I did. Well, no, I was talking to a girl last year, and to meet up, she's the one who suggested coffee. And I asked her, like, what area of Atlanta do you live in? And she's like, oh, I think it was like at Sandy Springs, whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So I looked at a place that was close to her, so I drove to her to go to coffee. I didn't want her to drive like 20 minutes or whatever outside. So I was like, all right, fine. We're meeting the first time. I'll make it easy for her. We met. We had coffee. It was awkward, and I never talked to her again.
Yeah.
But also, she was like really aggressively paying for the coffee. It was very strange. It was very, very strange.
Always trust your gut. That's one thing about dating that I will say. Like, always trust how you feel. If you feel uncomfortable, if there's no reason for it and you still feel uncomfortable, it's probably going to be even worse the next time. So just watch out for that.
Yeah, that happened with the girl I met on Bumble 2 weeks ago. We talked, made a date. She lived in Tucker, 30 minutes from me. So I looked at all the places there that were nearby that were like decent, not Applebee's, but like, you know, a decent place. Found one, and I was like, hey, let's meet here at like 8 Friday or Saturday. She's like, cool, whatever. And then she contacts me that day. It's like, hey, are we still good? I was like, this is a problem already. Then she says, hey, can we move it from 8 to 7? I'm like, that's fine. And then 2 hours beforehand, she's like, hey, can we just not do it and do like a phone call, like a video phone call? I was like, fine, whatever.
Weird.
So we did. And, you know, first thing she says is like, oh, you're cute. I'm like, thank you. And we talked for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then she's like, all right, Lino, are you free Wednesday? I was like, that's weird to do a middle of the week date, but I'll abide. It's fine. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. We keep talking back and forth. I make a reservation at a nice Thai place, like 20 minutes from her in Brookhaven at like 7. I make sure she's good for 7 before I even make the reservation. And, you know, she's like, all right, cool, fine, that works, whatever. I sent her the date, the time, the location, the address, everything. I get out of my my workout class, and she texts me. She's like, are we still good? I was like, this is a problem.
Why is that a problem? Like,
because when they check in, and this happened like three or 4 times now. When they check in, it means they're wanting to cancel. It's happened every single time. I've had it happen to me every single time.
Okay.
Because whenever they check in, they're like, "Hey, are we still good for this time?" I'm like, "Yes." And then I'm waiting for the next few hours for them to be like, and it happened again with her where she's like, "Hey, can we do 6 instead of 7?" I was like, and I got frustrated and I was like, "No, because I made the reservation for 7 and I can't make another one because they're booked up." So I said, "Let's just cancel it." I didn't know, and like I don't know if she wanted to meet or whatever, and it was just kind of like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not dealing with this again." So
Did she have kids or something?
she did not have kids. She was single. She was 37. She had a very well, and also like this. Also, I keep meeting these girls who have like really high end tech jobs, and
Hmm.
they're very into their careers, which I'm fine with that. But they seem to be like really into their careers, very
Yeah.
much into their careers, and I'm just like, do you want a relationship or do you just want like a pet or something? Like, what do you want? So it's very odd. It's very strange.
Well, and one thing you didn't mention on that day that you were initially supposed to go on the date and she said, "Hey, can we just do a Zoom call instead?" She friends over to her house. I told
Yeah,
Nick, I said she
yeah.
just came up with other plans. That's what it was. It wasn't that she was tired or didn't want to do anything. She just wanted to do things with her friends.
Yeah, that's odd.
And once again, this was on Bumble where she had to contact me, and I kept the conversation going. I was asking questions and stuff like that, and then we had talked for like 3 or 4 days, and then she's like, "Hey, let's go out." And I was like, "All right, fine. Are you free Saturday?" And I made the plan. I did the thing. I did it twice. Nothing.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like
I
that
don't
person.
know. Dating sucks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've given up on the apps for now. They're on my phone. They're sitting there in the background. Whatever. I just don't care anymore.
I feel you.
Yeah, because you're not dating anybody. Not to put your business out there, but you're not dating anybody right now, right, Jessa?
Uh, um,
Or
I'm dating.
not? You're not married. You're
Yes, I'm not married.
Okay, there we go.
I'm not dating losers right now.
Okay,
good.
only Arab princes. Got you.
Yeah,
All right.
that will take me to Red Lobster.
Oh God.
Do they have to come pick
So
you?
I'm gonna take it back.
Do they have to come pick you up, or or can you meet them there? Like, what's the protocol?
Oh,
Um,
good
so,
question.
that is a good question. I do not want anybody ever fucking picking me up. I've done too many dates with pickups, and then you're stuck, you know?
Hmm.
It's fair.
And it's hard to just get up and go if you need to. And I just rather feel comfortable driving myself. And if I plan on drinking, I'll Uber myself.
That's fair.
So I don't want to be picked up. And also I don't want to see the inside of your car quite yet, sir. Like
Mm,
that can be a turn off before we even get to the date.
true.
My car,
Very true.
like, I don't want anybody in there. Like, I did a makeup job the other day. And the lady came out to meet me at my car, and I was like, oh my God, she's like seeing how trashed my car is right now. And I just feel like this is setting a bad, like, example of like just who I am as a person. But I was looking for a mint. I was like bent over, like searching for one of those mints that like feet that melts on your mouth. I have those like everywhere. And so I was
Yeah.
trying to find like a little thing, like it pops open. I don't know a container of those, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, okay, it's fine. She's literally standing behind me. This is so awkward. She's like looking at me dig through my just junk in my car. Let me go and do this makeup.
Oh God.
Oh no, I make it a point if I have to like pick up a date or whatever for that if we've gone to that point, like I will get the car cleaned the day or 2 days before. Like I will go get it professionally cleaned down the road.
Wow.
Spot no, because like I'm like you. My car is trash. Right now outside it's trash. There's trash in the front seat and the back seat, it's trash. I will, but if I'm picking somebody up and I have to make an effort, it'll get cleaned.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I think that
Yeah.
that's showing respect right off the bat, that you
Yeah.
don't want to bring someone into a weird situation in your car because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh no, 100% it is. And like I have friends who, who are like that as well. Like their cars are messy and it's like your friends doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if it's a date or somebody like that, no. I'm getting the car cleaned. I'll sit there for an hour while they hose it down and dig in all the crevices or whatever and take all the fucking crumbs out. That's fine. But I'll go get it cleaned. It's okay.
I love it. I love it. Jessa, you mentioned makeup. I saw that on your Instagram where you were doing somebody's makeup. So you do makeup, you do
Uh-huh.
stand up, you do movies, you do your content creation.
I do it all.
You do it all.
Are
I'm
are
like,
you also like a theoretical physicist, like in your boring life? Do you have like
I,
whiteboards of like
writing books or
equations or whatever that we just don't know about? Like what else
not
is going on?
not yet, but I mean, I'm not dead yet. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to hypnotherapy school. Like, that's on my list of things.
oh yeah.
Know that I believe in it, but I want to go see what they have to say about it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Um, going to a clown school in September. If I don't book
Oh,
a project,
fun.
yeah, I've always wanted to get into. I was 5 years old. Is like my first experience with clowning, and honestly, that was my first experience performing at all. And I
Yeah.
was my kid, and if you don't mind me telling the story,
Go
it
for
was
it.
for a school thing, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna have you guys in kindergarten do some sort of performance, and I was just like, I was a clown for Halloween, and I still got the outfit. Okay, I'm like, I wear that, you know, and I was like, okay, so I go out there and I'm like do, and I'm so nervous because I'm like I have mentioned several times, have the worst fucking anxiety. And when you're a kid, they just say, "Oh, she's shy. She's shy."
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's a disease. It gets stuck like really bad. So I go out there and I'm just like very stiff, and I accidentally fall over. Okay, like I fall backwards and I like rolled up and like I go back on my shoulders and I like do one of those things like that yoga pose, and I hold it for hang time, you know, and they start fucking laughing. Like, absolutely, sign me up. That's the rest of my life. I was like, I was like, I was fucking ripping, running, cartwheeling, doing everything. After that, like, I was like, that was the ticket. Like, getting that response from the
Yeah.
crowd. Oh yeah, I want to be on the Disney Channel now.
I love it. I love it. Where did you find a clown school at?
It's
Where?
actually an international clown summit
Oh
that
my
is
God.
going to be coming to Owensboro, Kentucky, which is 40 minutes away from my house. And I'm going to be, yeah, I'm taking all the classes. I've already paid for it. I'm waiting to hear back about this movie that I auditioned for. And it's important. It's a movie that would be very important to me. I don't want to like give it away because like
Mm-hmm.
I'm really superstitious about stuff. I don't know. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
real stuff I don't like to tell when I'm waiting on like something important, because like I feel like it gives the power of it away, and
Yeah.
like stay in. I don't know. None of this makes sense probably, but it's just like I'm superstitious. I'm weird. But
Okay.
anyway, that's the only thing that would get me to not go to this clown summit. Because I'm very excited about it. I've been wanting to like learn about how to develop my character. I've been developing my character, my clown character. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
the name is gonna be Flux Inferior because it's about my inferiority complex.
Yeah.
So and it's kind of like a Bowie-esque looking character. Like
Yeah.
and I'm gonna wear a lot of silver. And I'm getting
I love it.
a silver nose made.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. That sounds like so much fun.
Excited about it. But no, there's so many things that I want to do in life, and people kind of give me shit about it. Like friends of mine, like I was going to school for psychology for a long time. I didn't get my degree, and they're just like, what's the end game here? Like, what are you
Yeah.
trying to? I'm like, fucking, I'm trying to learn about something. I'm trying to learn about people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, I want to do this for me. And then I went and got my cosmetology license. Do I work in a salon? No. Like I tried it. I hate having a normal job.
Yep.
This go for aesthetics. I love talking to people about skincare. I love doing people's makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love that kind of thing. And I don't do facials or any like,
Yeah.
waxing. Well, I will wax my friends' coochies at my house. I do have a table. I don't mind to do that. But in general, I'm not gonna work somewhere and be like
Yeah.
chained like a position. But like, I do take freelance work as far as doing makeup for films,
Mm-hmm.
for and for commercials. And I've never actually, someone asked me this the other day. They're like, so do you do a lot of stuff for like photography? And I'm like, I've actually never been hired to do makeup for a photo shoot, which I think is
Yeah.
like, why haven't I? But so I do that. And then I went to school for massage. And I just wanted to learn about like what they had to say, you know, like I'm just like, it's just a thing. Like I'm the kind of person, I love learning. Like every experience I have, like even in that experience last night where I totally fucked up that audition and sent in a piece of shit video, I was like, I told my friends about it and they gave me a solution. They were like, I was like, why didn't I just come to you guys and tell you that I was having this issue before I sent the damn video in? And they're like, what we do is we record it in Audacity, and then we just set the laptop somewhere and have it read back. So like when you're filming it on your phone can hear that. And I was like, well, so I learned how to be able to do something that, you know, I couldn't do last night. So like every experience, like like I said, like I love learning and I love learning about new different stuff. And like, I'm going to probably be going to school for weird shit until the day I die, you know, and whether I do it,
nothing wrong with that.
You know, fuck it. It's my money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. I sign up for all that stupid stuff. And not that your shit's stupid, but you know, I sign up for all these self-help classes. I just signed up for an intimacy coordinator course. So hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be certified as an intimacy coordinator.
Send me information about that.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
In helping people with, because of the experiences that I've had. And like I said, it's never been during intimate scenes or anything, but I've heard some horror stories from friends of mine where the other like player in the scene just kind of pushes it too far and there was no stop it. And I would love to help people like honestly, that's what I always wanted to do, is I've just wanted to help people. Like, you know, like in getting into cosmetology, it was just like, I want to make people feel confident. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, I want people to feel good about themselves. That's why I want to do makeup and talk to them about hair and how to take care of their bodies and, you know, and to make them feel good through massage. And also that was awesome. Put on a show the whole time. Like whenever you're a cosmetologist working in a salon, you might as well be a stand-up comedian, because you've got to, you've got to entertain these people the whole time and keep them talking. Like there's so many awkward appointments that I had because I just felt like I didn't have anything in common with the people and I wasn't in the mood. That's why I can't have a normal job, because you know, like whenever it's like an acting thing, it's like, okay, so I've got 3 weeks until I have to play this part in front of all these people. Like I can gear myself up to that experience. When you work in a salon and you take walk-ins and stuff, absolutely not. It's a terror. I hated it.
Yep.
But
I'll do my, I mean, I don't like the regular full-time jobs. I'm a consultant in the work that I do, you know, and I have my podcast, do the movies. I need that variety.
Me too.
Know? Have to have that variety.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I'm interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you also do, conventions, and we were talking about what your next upcoming convention is. Was it in Pennsylvania or
no? The Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix. Yes. What's it called? Phoenix Fan. Why can't I ever think of things? I technically have brain damage. Just putting that out there. I had a stroke once, and I had to learn how to talk and read again.
Oh God.
So I have like sometimes like whenever I'm like cornered, I can't come up with what it is, but I think it's a fan.
Is it Phoenix Fan Fusion?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
You my rescue, Nick. I appreciate that. Phoenix Fan Fusion. I'm working with a comic book company called Ethereal Comics. I met them at another convention that I did. It was a smaller convention, and they had a table there, and they were selling their comics. And they were looking for people to basically cosplay as certain characters. And so they showed a character that, I mean, I was like, absolutely, yes, that girl. She wears blue eyeshadow. She has pigtails. Her name's Penny. And I was like, I would love to be this girl for you. And so now they're basically flying me out to conventions to be this character, and they're allowing me to bring some of my movies and stuff and sell that at their table as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
to be a great networking experience for me. And this is the first time I've ever done any like cosplaying at a convention, you know? So like
Yeah.
I think it's really exciting. I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be super cool.
Good. Now, is this going to be your first one that you've done the cosplay at?
Yes, it's gonna be the first one that I've
Okay.
like I've been doing. They've been paying me for photo shoots basically as this character, and then they use those photo shoots and they use it to promote the comic. And then they
Okay.
also for like to base the artwork on. So
Okay.
so they're it's pretty awesome. Like I never thought I'd be able
Sounds
to do
like it.
anything like a side hustle, you know, but it's pretty amazing. It's like it's pretty cool. And I've also gotten some of my friends that are in indie horror like involved with ethereal as well. And like I have a friend Sammy, she's doing one of the characters. They're basing a character off of my friend Kelsey Living Good. She does a mischief the clown. She does a clown thing. And so they're making a whole character, they're making a new comic based on her character that she does. So
Yeah.
like that's another thing I really that brings me joy is linking people up with other people that they can
Yeah.
like with each other. Cause like I'm, you know, if I know somebody that can do the thing that you're looking for, or if you need music for a movie or you need editing done for a movie, like I'm gonna hook you guys up and I'm gonna help you figure it out. Like that's part of a thing that just makes me super happy. So I'm really glad that I could help them get into it as well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. No, this sounds exciting.
that's really
Mhm.
good. I'm glad I have your phone number. I might hit you up for that in the future.
Yeah, please do. Like, if I don't have a solution, if it's within my wheelhouse, if I don't have the solution, somebody that has a solution,
Gotcha.
you know. So I'll
Do you know the Soska sisters? Twisted
no.
Twins? They did American Mary. Okay.
Mm.
They have their own comic book as well. They do it through a YouTube creator called Eric July.
Okay.
And they do that as well. I think, I mean, and also they do a lot of comic. Eric July and his company, he's done 3 or 4 comics recently, and they've all. I think the crowdfunding's been in like the $5 and $10 million range.
What?
Yeah, yeah. You should probably contact them and become friends with them too.
Yeah, send me all. I
Yeah,
would love to all
yeah,
of them.
yeah. Because I think the Sasuke sisters wrote one. I took one of the characters from his universe and made their own comic. And you could, I'm pretty sure you could cosplay her for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that convention. Now, are you going to be at Scarefest in when is it, Nick? October?
October, yeah, October.
Are you going to be at Scarefest this year?
No. Last year, the last one, I shared a table with a filmmaker. And then the one I did before that, I was with Lloyd Kaufman and Trauma. I was
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
that's also a thing I do. You don't get paid for that, but you make a lot of connections. Like every time I work with them and I show up and I take the pictures with Lloyd and everything, like I get so many new followers
Yeah.
that in my work, whether it be in film or showing my tits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whichever thing that they're interested in. But I get so many new fans by doing that stuff. But I unless he's gonna be there, I could probably get in. But other than that, they're very hard to get into. Like to get a
Okay.
table. Like you really have you have to jump on it as soon as they're selling the tables. Like it's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's true. Nick and his buddies, that podcast he mentioned earlier, World Class Bullshitters that he does with his friends, they took forever to get into Whorehound because you
Yeah,
were at
there was-
Whorehound this year, right?
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
gap. There was a gap of like a year or 2 years where like they would not just let us in. And my the guy who runs everything, Jeff, he had to literally like Facebook message the owner of the magazine and be like, "Can we get a table?" And then he did. So it was like, and like, he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that. He kept emailing them. He kept emailing other people. And I kept hearing from other people who had tried to get into the convention, saying it was just hard. For some reason, they always had a table and they couldn't do it the last couple of years, and like, didn't know what the problem was. So yeah, we had to like very nicely send him a corporate email being like, hey, can we get a table? And it worked.
Yeah.
So like, we're back with them, but it's just, it shouldn't have been that difficult. It shouldn't have been that difficult.
It's just some conventions are like that. I don't know if they just like want people that they know have been good table havers. I don't know what you call it. In the past, like they just really want to work with the same people because it's like they know what to expect from them or what it is. Like Cinema Wasteland is kind of the same way. Like I applied to get, like, I emailed them. So I was there. I shared a table with my friend Sean Donahue, who's a filmmaker. Last time. And then you do, he's like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
For that, I did a table with, I was at the trauma table, and that was a lot of fun. And then before that, I'd had a table with Sean. So Sean already knows them, and so he can get a table, like, no matter what. But like, I asked them to put me on the wait list, and they're like, well, a lot of times we won't know until like the week before. And I'm like, well, hit me up. You never know, like I might be available and I'll totally come to, Cleveland at the drop of a dime if I'm available, because it's that convention for sure.
I've heard that's a wild one. I've heard that's a very, very wild one.
People just walk around drunk. Like they'll have like a pull of like just beers and stuff, and they're just handing it out and they don't care.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I know a friend of mine bought a script from Sean Donahue recently, and we're actually trying to make it. We're going to try to shoot it this year. So
is it the New Year's Eve one?
Yep, that's it. That's the one.
Well, I'm a character in it.
Yeah, you probably talked to Richard then.
Oh, I've already talked to him.
There you go. Then yeah.
Yeah, but that you bring that up because Sean just asked me yesterday if I had talked to Richard again about it, and I was like, well, I haven't talked to him since the first time, but and then Sean's like, well, he said he wanted to shoot it in October, so I was like, yeah, I better get that figured out before I get something else scheduled.
Yeah, and it's funny because we're trying to shoot 2 movies this year, and Richard's helping me with the one I'm directing and the one we're all doing as well with that whole group down there. So like, we're trying to do 2 of them at the same time almost. It's going to be very difficult and fun. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I actually might hit you up for, because like I'm doing an anthology, and I might hit you up for my anthology, which will be like a weekend of work at the very most.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. When it gets closer and I get more of an idea what's happening, I will definitely message you and make sure that you're available, what the rate is and everything like that, and we'll definitely work it out for sure.
Okay, awesome. You got my number.
Cool. Yeah. But no, that's great. I'm glad it's like indie horror is just a big circle, man. We're all in it. We're all
small
in it.
world. It really is a small world.
I like it, and honestly, it's changed my life so much. Like since I've got indie horror, like it's really just saved me as a person. Like, not that like I was too bad off whenever I got into it, but it gave me some purpose. And then I always wanted to do acting. And then once I got on a set and I had that experience where you look into someone's eyes and it's very real, it's a weird experience. That's a different eye that I am now addicted to. Nice. Like I have an addictive personality, like what gets me high, and that happens to be acting now. So like I try to take classes whenever I possibly can, and I try to get involved in as many projects as I can that like they want me and I want to be involved in their thing. Now like I'm kind of picky a little bit, like
you should be.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, you do everything. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Like there's certain stuff, like there's certain content that I just cannot, I don't want to be a part of. Like I don't even want a movie that has that sort of thing or alludes to certain things. So I'm a script reader. Like I'll be like, send me these scripts. I want to read the whole script. Yeah. I can know what I'm getting into basically. And then, also I'm picky about, like, I want to be paid. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I hear from so many people that they're just like, they basically, okay, so like I was like, we were all drinking and smoking after we got done with sorority babes just recently here.
Mhm.
And whenever I'm drunk and high, I like to ask people questions. I'm like, everybody go around in a circle and say the top things that you would want, no question asked, if you got to a point in your career that you could ask for any three things. And a lot of people said to get paid. And I was like, oh, clutch my pearls, ma'am. Like, you're not getting paid. Like, not on that project, you know, per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
Like, in general, I'm like, I can't give my time. I just can't.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm a flexible person, so we can haggle a little bit about how much you're going to pay me. You know what I mean? Like, we can go back and forth on that. But one thing that I'm not going to do is work for free ever. I just can't.
As you shouldn't, but I gotta laugh because not only do I work for free, I'm one of those people that pay for the Indiegogos so I can be on set with the actresses and that like you. I don't think I've had a part yet that I haven't paid for or at least done for free.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that too. I just want to put that out there because there was a whole thing recently in the community where some guy made a post about people paying for parts and how he didn't agree with it and all this shit. And I was like, well, here's the thing though. People are people and they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, I don't want to work for free. You know, you want to pay for a part and be on the set and have that experience. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't think that that's a problem at all. Like, I'm always for people what makes them happy.
Yeah.
You know?
And see, I don't consider myself an actress as my job. I work in IT. I don't like
Okay.
to, I'm not going to do auditions. I want to know I have a guaranteed part. And that's how I found that you can search on Indiegogo for actresses. I'm like, I want to work with Felissa Rose, and I'll search for Felissa Rose and see what movie she's doing, and I'll go be in that movie. So
You've given me an idea because then I can hassle the directors to let me audition
uh-huh.
for
There you go.
certain
Yeah.
things. Somebody, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love
because you can search right by somebody's name. And if they have you listed in that Indiegogo is on their movie, it'll come right up. And
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, every
Yeah.
every Monday morning now, just gonna get up with a coffee and get on Indiegogo and type up people's names and be like, who's what project started now? What can I get in on? What's happening?
That's so brilliant. Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. I'm a
Why not?
hassler. That a casting director last week.
Yeah.
Which is so embarrassing now since I'm, you know, turned in that shit audition, but I'm never gonna let that go. I'm gonna think about it till the day I die. But anyhow, but yeah, no, I'll hassle people if there's a project that I'm just like, that is so funny. Like, I hassled them for Crackcoon. Like,
Oh yeah.
Brad, I want to be a part of this. Please, please, please. I have to be a part of this. This is such a silly thing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make it to the premiere, and I'm so sad about it because, like, I'm already like booked. But
Yeah.
that was something. As soon as I heard it, I was like, I'm in. You're casting me, sir. There's no way you're gonna not. Like, I'm gonna be bothering you until to get me off of your ass. You're gonna put me in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I have no shame. Like, if I want to be a part of a project, like, I'm going to be like, listen, this is what I can offer. Like, not only
Yeah.
can I movie and like whatever, I can do makeup on set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you need that? Or do you need help with costuming or something like that? Like, I'm always like I go for what I want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And sometimes I get it because I'm persistent, you know, like maybe to a crazy degree, honestly, but
You
whatever.
work hard.
Well,
You
I mean,
work
like,
hard. Nope, you got to.
well, I mean, like you said, you want to help people and you want to be like, you know, also just not the pretty face on set. You want to, you know, help with makeup and costuming, whatever you can, because indie film is not a joke. It's not for the faint of
Mhm.
heart. It's not for you know, people who think it's going to be a normal like Hollywood set. It's not that.
Yep.
Everybody does every job all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you,
That's how it does.
for sure.
Yep. Well, we're getting towards the end here. Nick, was there any other questions that you had?
Yeah, I had a couple. Let's see. What do you have? Okay, on your bucket list, what do you have left you want to do?
Like, as in for what? Like in
Life.
life?
In life.
Ooh, well, I want to go to hypnotherapy school, which I've already touched on. That's something interests me. My bucket list. I want to have a orgy for sure. I tried to organize one last year for my birthday, and then I just wasn't. I wasn't in town for my birthday, but
Oh,
that's a fun thing to do. What else do I want to do? Oh, I didn't want to go to school for mortuary science. Kind of weird.
really? Now that's
Yeah.
different. No, I mean, it's just different.
I have a reason. Okay.
Is there,
First of
okay.
all, hair and makeup on people that have
Yeah.
passed.
Yep.
And I want to call it the slay and lay. Looks so good. Like they're gonna be laid out, they're gonna hair done, lashes on, like they're gonna look so good. And in a lot of places, you have to have your mortuary science license to be able to. So that's one reason. And then the other thing is I'm terrified of death. I'm so scared of death. And so I think to be around it and to learn how to be respectful and how to talk to the people that are coming in, like I'll probably never do it as a job. I might, you never know. It might just tickle my fancy in such a way. I'm like, oh, I really want to do this, but I want to do it so I can get comfortable with death.
Yeah.
So those are a few things.
Try to organize an orgy. That's goddamn hilarious. And and the plans fell through. That's, oh my God. That's funny. There's a movie called Good Old Fashioned Orgy with I forget, Tyler Labine. That's the thing. They've been friends for like 20 years or sorry, like 30 years or whatever. And they go to the Hamptons or something, and this guy's house is about to get sold. And to cap off the Labor Day weekend, they all have an orgy, and they've all been friends for like 35 years. It's kind of weird, but it was a funny movie. That was a very funny movie. That's what reminds me of what you said.
I'd love that. That sounds like a fun time to me. And I'm not very promiscuous at this time, but I have been promiscuous in the past, and it's always just been with friends. Because like I want to have sex with somebody that I know I can talk to the next day, and it's like gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to get
Okay.
we don't have to be weird about it and never speak again or something, because I've had those kind of experiences too. But and I care about the person, like it may not be like I'm not in love with them, but if I'm having sex with a friend, I love them. You know what I mean? Like I want to get them off. I want to, you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
So if I'm not going to have an orgy with like strangers. It's going to be my friends. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be that, it's another weird thing I do is like, whenever I meet people, I imagine them having sex immediately. Like, I'm like, what are they like in bed?
Yes. Me too. Right away. Yeah.
They're probably, or I bet
the same thing. Yeah.
So you two on the first date are just kind of like looking the person up and down and being like, I don't know, can I bang him?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Here I am trying not to tap my leg so much the table starts vibrating, or my hands sweat so much that I slip off. I'm just trying to like keep calm and just be like, all right, try not to look like a pathetic moron, and let's keep this going.
Honestly, it might take something if you think about like how they might be in bed.
Exactly.
I'll try that next time. I'll try to imagine them naked and see how the date goes. That's an interesting concept. I like that.
Oh goodness. Well, Jess, I am just thrilled that you were able to come on here with us. It's 7:00 or 8:00 your time. I know that's what we had you scheduled. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Anything upcoming? Any movies? Anything you remembered you wanted to promote?
Oh God.
I know we have Jessa Does It All. .com, so they could go there.
That will be in the description. That link will be in the description. It will be live, so we'll put that in there.
Well, I'm doing a project with Sean Donahue next year, and it's an erotic thriller. Have you heard of these?
Like, wait, hold on. Are we talking like 90 Skinamax kind of thing, where it's the action movie with like Scorpion the show, like things like that, or Black Scorpion, like that?
I don't know what that is.
I'm showing my age. Jesus Christ.
It's like, yeah, these kind of movies were popular in the 90s, but he's kind of explained it to me. He watched a documentary about erotic thrillers, and he's just like, I want to make one. And it's kind of like the kind of movies that would be like on Lifetime. Like they're very like the babysitter's trying to steal the husband type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Like,
That sounds neat.
yeah.
That sounds good.
I always want to try something new and different. Like as far as acting, I try to like vary my roles. You know what I mean? So like any I have to do something just a little bit different, like I'm totally here for it. So
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
One last question, since you mentioned that. Is there ever going to be a point where you're going to write and or direct and make your own movie?
Yeah.
Oof. Maybe.
Okay.
I definitely want to write, because the first thing I remember wanting to be was a horror writer. As a kid, and I would write a lot of scary stories. That was kind of my thing. So I know that I'm pretty decent with words, and I would love to do some writing. I would love to have the experience of directing, but it is a lot. Like when I like you were saying, being on an independent film set, no matter what it is, whether it's horror or not, it's a lot of fucking work. Like see, it's like they have mental breakdowns on sets. And like, oh God, it's so hard. But yes, I would love to make my own movie. I would love to. Like that would be something that I'm always asking questions. Like anytime I'm on set, I'm asking, okay, so how is this done? Like I'm pretty good with editing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm good at a lot of different things, you know? And so I'm always asking, like, how do you promote your Indiegogo? How do you do this? How do you do that? And so I'm secretly collecting information. Because one day I will, I think, make my own. But I'm scared. But I love a project I'm scared of.
That's where I've been for the past 10 years, collecting information from helping my friends make movies, and I finally just said screw it and have come up with an idea for my own, and that's where I am right now. So yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Nick's. I can't wait for Nick's. We've talked about that before, but yeah, Jessa, I think you should make a movie. At the very least, write a book. That's why I actually expected you to say you were going to be writing a book. I could absolutely see you writing a book.
Oh, I'm going to write a memoir, because I've had the craziest life you could ever imagine. Like you have no idea. And I've gotten so bad off, like with depression stuff. Like I've tried suicide several times. Like I've really gone through it, and I've figured it out for myself now. Like I have the answer for everybody, but I would love to share my story and to inspire others to find an outlet, because like I said, like indie horror gave me something to focus on, something that gave me like purpose. And it's like, it's been so amazing for me. And some of my friends that have like not made it, you know what I mean? Like they've had hard, y'all came from similar kind of things. I think about it a lot. I'm like, gosh, I wish they would have found something. I wish they would have found acting, or they would have found comedy, or they would have found some outlet that they could have pursued that would have distracted them out of that awful, terrible, heavy funk, you know, like would have made it. And I think that it's possible, though. I think that a lot of people are just scared. I think they're scared to fail, and fuck it. Like if you fail, who gives a fuck? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all a journey.
Absolutely. Well, when you write that book, let us know. And that goes into our closing affirmations. I always do like these badass affirmations that I find. And one of them, I'll read two. One is, well-behaved women seldom make history. And that was actually by Laurel Thatcher Ulrich.
I love that.
That's what I thought. I mean, right away, if you're well-behaved, you're not doing anything really.
Yeah.
And then Tina Fey had a good one. Do your thing and don't care if they like it.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a good one. I thought that was a good one. But if anybody has any questions for Jessa Flux, any questions about the podcast and coherent ramblings of a crazy bitch, feel free to send us an email at ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com.
Hell yeah.